So Greg Gutfeld has been retweeted by Donald Trump many times the other day. Apparently, like he did it, he was bragging of it. He did it like 8 times. Didn't like Gutfeld also like win a Pulitzer? Or no, I'm confused. And so Greg Gutfeld, here he is on Fox's The Five. He's really turning on the juice these days, Gutfeld. He's really energized by being able to work from home, I think.
That Adam Schiff has re-entered the picture.
Yeah, it will never go away. But first I want to talk about Schiff. But the first thing I want to bring up is that question in the presser from a reporter named Jim. I'm not sure which Jim it was. And he said, when Trump was painting an optimistic picture, he said, mission accomplished. And that was a gotcha question. Yeah. For those of you too young to remember, it was Tim trying to pull him into a Katrina moment. And it was just a snide little thing. He was like throwing a little pothole ahead of him. And we caught it. Also, the agreed narrative of all the media is, are you going to stop listening to the experts? As if he hadn't. Like he'd been listening to the experts since day one. And it adjusted what he was doing every time he listened to them.
I thought he was about to throw an accidental pothole on himself by saying that he hasn't been listening to the experts ever. So how would this change?
Never. But Greg is, I think, is just trying to pretend that he's younger than he is, because in fact, the mission accomplished was George Bush landing on a air cruiser and sitting on the flight deck and in front of a banner saying mission accomplished about 6 months into the Iraq war. And it turned out that he was only about, 18 years off from that mission, I guess, being accomplished. But really, it depends on how specific you want to be about what he was claiming was accomplished, because they were very successful in convincing the body politic in America to invade a country that had absolutely nothing to do with 9/11 and the one that would be a total crap show, but would, I guess, be, have
a lot of contracts were awarded. I mean,
a lot of people made a lot of money.
I think
from Dick Cheney's perspective, it's still mission accomplished.
Absolutely.
And we are still paying the price for that. But yes, the idea that Donald Trump has been listening to the experts, I don't know. Maybe just look at today's 87-page report by a whistleblower from somebody who was fired from essentially the primary BARDA, which is the Biomedical Advanced Research Development Authority, where essentially the guy in charge of vaccinations in the country was fired because he kept pumping the brakes on this on the president's pushing of hydroxychloroquine or queen. And so they fired him. And he also reveals in his 87-page report that there were multiple opportunities to get N95 masks. He was sending emails around weeks before. For 5 weeks, HHS leadership failed to heed the warnings the country was facing a massive shortage of protective equipment for healthcare workers. In that time, a major U.S. manufacturer contacted Bright. This is the guy, Rick Bright from BARDA. And a major manufacturer contacted Bright, offering to activate mothballed production lines. Bright could not get traction with superiors to fund the effort. The complaint states, instead, sensing no urgency from the U.S. Prestige Ameritech, this is the company, proceeded to export 1 million masks to China. This is according to the complaint. There were also multiple opportunities, situations where he was forced to buy stuff that was completely unnecessary, to buy a failed flu remedy. I mean, on and on and on. So on both those accords, I give Greg Gutfeld a big fat 0 ranking.
He threw a pothole ahead of himself for the clip on the Majority Report.
Indeed.
I can't get over that image. Through a pothole ahead of him. That's such a bizarre image. What do you take a pothole out of one part of the road?
The press should be smooth sailing.